What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. The book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below, as usual. This video is entitled When Black Men Are Intelligent. It's shocking to people for some odd reason. You know, I've noticed this a lot. The older I've gotten, but from a child to an adult, that like when I was a child, being intelligent for some teachers was a problem, so they would discourage you. You know, when you're smart, even in class. You know, and as kids, I remember you have to dumb yourself down with other kids because cool was more important than being smart. But when you were smart, but other people, what I didn't realize at the time, at first, but I got as a teenager is people wanted you to be dumb so they can get over on you and they can use you. And every time that I've watched myself and other men I know show their intelligence, I've watched people get shocked and upset because it showed their intentions. You know, when black men are intelligent, it puts people's intentions on blast. You know, like when people say stuff about if this person is, you don't know if a person is racist because you don't know their heart. Well, as a black man, when you're intelligent, you find out people's heart very fast. Because what they do is they come at you from a manipulative space. And I've been there plenty of times where, you know, a person, we have a conversation and and I did a video about this maybe a week ago. A guy came up to me and I could tell he was in his head. And you see that when you're an intelligent black man. You see a person, when they approach you, you can see them in their head like, he's stupid. I'm going to get over on him. And then when they start talking and you respond, it's like that whole little movie they had in their head, it changes in reverse, and they need a chance to restart this picture. Like, wait, it's not wait, because when we're intelligent, it puts other people's intelligence in question and people's ability to be competent in question. You know, and I'm talking about everybody who's not a black man, but even including black men. You know, and most brothers know this scenario when somebody's full of it, swears they're smart, and they're in your face smiling, like you're gonna believe them. Like, just trust me. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna tell them this line, and they're gonna believe it, hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. And then you start talking particulars, and they start how did you know that? What's your name again? Where are you from? Huh. Where did you get that information? Okay, well, and then people start testing you. Can you test questions? What about this? And then you answer. Smarter than I thought. And then, you know, people go back on, when you're intelligent, they go back to social cues or subconscious cues to hope that you back down. Like when you're intelligent and you show it, that's when people start trying to get stoic because they feel like, you know, if you're a certain person and you stand stoic, eventually, you know, subconsciously your inferiority complex is supposed to kick in and you're going to back down. And then you're just sitting there like, you know, it's bothersome. Like when black men are intelligent, it's bothersome to people, you know, because everybody has a, everybody, because we don't have systems, everybody around us deals in systems. And what they do is they follow the protocol of these systems, even if they're idiots, expecting that we don't know how systems work. So when we can run down to you how your system works, or we can use your system against you, it's threatening, because now you have a man who knows how to work inside in the box, but is also very well accustomed to working outside the box. And most other people are only accustomed to working inside the box. Most human beings are accustomed to working inside of a system. Do A, B, C, and D will be the result. But as black men, we have to work outside of the framework, because part of the system is to make sure we're not in the system, right? So when we can do both, it bothers the hell out of people, because now, it puts them in uncomfortable water. Even though the system, systems don't change, when we're intelligence, it puts hypocrisy on Front Street. Because when we're intelligent, only thing that usually happens is when we're playing within the rules of the game and we're going down the protocol of the system, it ends up being, well, we're not going to do it for you. Which, some of us walk away, and then some of us say, well, this is a moment to really stick it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because now I'm going to put your system on Front Street for being flawed. And it bothers people. Like, people say, they're making weed legal. So what you need to do is release all the guys who have been put in prison for weed charges and have given these long sentences, and erase their records. That's a norm. But when you're intelligent, you're going to say something like, you need to pay those guys restitution, because they've been locked up for years or decades behind something that you made legal. So now, truth be told, you owe them for the time that you gave them. So now you got to pay them out. So they should be, depending on the time, 100,000aires or millionaires. That's when you go. So you can't argue with that, really. When black men are intelligent, it shocks the heck out of people, because all of a sudden it hurts people's superiority complex, because being smarter than us was built in everyone else's ideology or superiority complex of themselves. And when you wind up being smarter than someone else who's not a black man, it really pokes a hole in their theory, because we're just supposed to be workhorses. You know what I'm saying? And when the dumb workhorse is smarter than the quote unquote brains of the operation, insecurity seeps in, and people do a lot of things when they're insecure that are just erratic and irrational. The other thing about that is, when black men are intelligent, you start to see how far people go to get over on you, to be above you. You start to put two and two together, that this person didn't earn these positions. They lied, they cheat, they stole to get there, and it puts pressure on them when they're supposed to be smarter than you, but they keep looking to you for advice or for you to fix it. And when you put those people on blast by waiting for them to be the brains of the operation, and they keep failing, it makes it makes they get resentful because it makes you look better. What I mean by that is this: you can work somewhere and be smarter than your supervisor, but you're not supposed to be challenging them in everything they do. You're supposed to ask them, well, what's your idea? How do you want to do it? It goes with how you do it. And if they keep failing time and time again, they can't blame you because you're just a workhorse, right? But you're gonna find out some people will come to you on the low and ask you for advice. And what you're supposed to do if you're intelligent is say, man, look, this is how you do it. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But I want to know. I'm not getting paid to do your job. If you want me to, if you want my advice, you want me to take your job. So you got to give people those options. And when you're intelligent enough to do that, it's like, that's why you're a threat. That's why most black men, especially smart black men, are threats in corporate America. Because what it is people want our intelligence, but don't want us in those positions. So don't give them your intelligence. Be smart enough to say, no. It must have been working just fine before I got here. And it's going to work just fine after I'm gone. When black men are intelligent, people have an issue with foresight. Because a lot of times we can, people gauge how things are going to work by who they're dealing with. They don't necessarily break it down intellectually, they break it down socially. And when you break things down socially, this person's going to do this because they're this type of person, and I know people. And then when you're logical, you say, well, they're not going to do that, but you're going to find that out when it's too late. And they say, no, it's just fine. Like we've met plenty of people who've been in that situation where it's going to work out just fine. I watch. And it just crumbles. Why does it crumble? Because, they felt like they were socially intelligent and didn't take into consideration people change or people are playing you. And when black men are intelligent and can point this out, we're ahead of other people because we can see things coming before they happen because we, of course, are the canaries in the mine. And the canary in the mine is definitely smarter than the coal miner that goes in after it. So, the I told you so mantra is bothersome. People are shocked and people are appalled. But ultimately, when we are intelligent, I think people have a issue because they feel like they're going to be replaced. So, because if you're a smart black man, you know one thing for sure is going to happen. People are going to try to come together and destroy you socially as far as a group and spin it out of control, whether you're angry, you're hypersexual, you're undermining people, you're bullying people, because intellectually they can't keep up. So the only thing they can do is create a scenario where there's a bunch of enemies. And I know a lot of brothers who've been there down this road and they've been there and done that. And what happens is people get rid of you, following the mantra of this is what triggers people to say they hate black men. And if you keep your cool and move on, what happens is the very people who turned against you will crumble when you're gone. And I've known people who've been fired from jobs who had to call back and get raises because, it sounded good that they were harassers or thieves or bullies, but when they were gone, it's like, wait, we're not efficient. We're doing shoddy work. this person was supposed to be the bane of everybody's existence and make it so and make the atmosphere so better and people got their work done. But now work's really not getting done and we're paying these people to do nothing. Oh, okay. I see what's going on now. I got rid of the wrong person. And it costs people money. And when we're intelligent, we know it costs people money on the back end. So we can always make more money later, but we're gonna have to go through things. I'm gonna stop it right here because 15 minutes is a bit much. We out.